Welcome to the story of my life. More books. My precious. Hello, I'm Kelly Lynn Colby, editorial director at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. I'm also a freelance editor, a writer, and a reader. Today, I get to share my Houston Indie Bookstore Crawl loot. Now, if y'all watch this channel at all, if you are new, welcome. So glad to see you. Please subscribe for more amazing book content, or at least entertaining. At least I have fun. If you have watched this channel at all, you know that I am on a book buying ban because I cannot be trusted at a bookstore or a thrift store or the library. Anywhere. I just can't be trusted. But I do have exceptions to that rule. For instance, I'm allowed to buy one new book every month. It's part of the Here Kid Challenge. I have to buy, a book or I have to read. Sorry, buying is not a requirement. But I have to read a book that released during that month and read it during that month. So I'm allowed to do that. I'm also allowed to buy next books in series if I am about to read them and I can't get them from the library or they're not on Kindle Unlimited or anything like that. Then I am allowed to buy those. Otherwise, no buying or bad things happen. Like if you watch my game from April, you'll see my TBR game from April. You'll see the bad things that happen. They're actually kind of fun. But anyways, so cannot be trusted. However, the big exception to that is April, because in April, Houston does an indie bookstore crawl. And this year there were 25 indie stores featured. And myself and a couple friends hit 17 of them. That's not so bad, right? I think it's pretty good. In order to participate in the Indie Bookstore Crawl, it is not required that you purchase books. But I'll be darned if I'm not going to go to these bookstores that I don't normally visit all the time because they're all over the city, that I'm not going to support them by buying books. Of course I am. It is my civic duty. Also, I really like books. So, of course I did. I think I ended up with 25. Well, we'll see what happens at the end. I tried to only buy one. I had mixed success, but I wanted to share with you what I had because I do want to make sure that the books that I am buying, I am reading. So I'd like to look at this in a year and see how many of them I have gotten through. So let's see where we are. Oh, and all of the bookstores that I visit, I will put their links down below so that you can go and check them out if you're anywhere in the Houston area or visiting Houston, want to see a really cool bookstore. I'd recommend any of them. I had a ball at all of them. And the first one we went to was all the way in the south side of town, and it was Lit Java Coffee and Books. And at that store, I bought Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I've heard lots of really, really amazing things about this book, and it is a memoir. That's about all I know about it, is that it's a memoir. All right, down here it says, it's the story of how one woman learned that a responsible mother is not one who slowly dies for her children, but one who shows them how to fully live. Okay, that's a note that I definitely need to read a few times. So this book should not only be entertaining that I've heard about it, but also enlightening, which is something that I always want out of a memoir, right? So we shall see how I enjoy that one. And I also got The First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson. This one I hadn't heard anything about. And I like to get a book that I've heard hype on and one that I'd never heard of before. So this one I had never seen before, and it looked fascinating. It's got a whole circus thing going on. This one is fiction, and it is, let's see. And it's the circus, it looks like, first of all, it's sapphic, so that's really nice. And the circus is a rare home and safe haven for magical misfits and outcasts, known as Sparks. That sounds cool. So I shall read this one. Circus ones are hit or miss for me. Sometimes I just love them, and sometimes I'm like, So we shall see where this one aligns. Well, I don't know if I said it. The Lit Java South Side of Town, that one I had not been to before. So it was really cute, and they had some amazing drinks. I had like a matcha strawberry frozen drink. It was delicious. Really loved that. It was a great breakfast because I had no time for that. We just, all the way down to the south side of town. So we went all the way to the south side of town to hit the Lit Java Coffee and Books. And so we were like, oh, we're going to hit some in the middle. And there was one on the east side of town. We're like, oh, we'll hit that one because that's farther away too. Let's get these farther away ones. But they didn't open till like noon, right? And it was like 9. And we're like, well, we don't want to do nothing for 3 hours. Let's go to the middle of town. So by the time we get up there, it was like 10. And most of those places also didn't open till 11 or noon. And we're like, all right, never mind. We're going to go home. We went all the way to the north side of town so we could hit those bookstores instead. So one of the places we stopped was Village Books. I was at Village Books last year. I really adore that store. It has a really good kids section, and they're very, very active in like the craft shows and stuff in the area, bringing books. So I really like them, and they're very supportive of local authors. And the book I ended up getting there was Chuck Wendig's Wanderers. I've been very curious about this spec fic, and Chuck Wendig. I follow him on some of the social media, and I like him, but I haven't read anything by him yet. So this is where I'm going to start. We also went to By the Book, which is on the north side of town as well. And that one we were at last year. I think all these ones on the north side of town we hit last year. We're on the north side of town. It's easier to hit those, right? But they're still far enough away from my house. I don't go to them on a regular basis. I mean, Copperfield's is my local indie, right? That's the one I spend most of my time at. So while we were there, I ended up getting Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft. This is a retelling or a telling of the Tinkerbell story. So I'm very fascinated by Tinkerbell, love fairies. And my daughter's always been obsessed with Tinkerbell. And I saw someone else talking about this book saying, I'm just so excited about it. And then I saw it at the store and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy it too. So I have this one. All right. Another one that we hit was Book Readers Venue. So Book Readers Venue. This was a little store in like a old part of town in Humble, I'm pretty sure. Again, the links will be below if I misunderstood. It's a Black-owned business, which we love. There are actually quite a few bookstores that were Black-owned, including Java Lit. So we were very excited to go hit that one and see what it was about. Some of these stores, too, though, part of the problem why we can't go to them as regulars is they're only open on Saturday, or they're only open for a few hours, right? But this was the perfect opportunity to go support them and get books I hadn't seen before, like this one by Jane Igaro. It's The Sweetest Remedy, and that cover got me. Look at that. So this is a contemporary romance, Nigerian, I think. Yep. In Banana Island, one of Nigeria's most affluent areas. So this one actually takes place in Nigeria, which is even better. So I got this one I was really excited about. And I got another Disney one, Fate Be Changed. And this one I'm pretty sure is signed because the author came to visit. Yep. So this one also is signed. How cool is that? And I've been wanting to start, because there's a whole series of these with these Disney retellings. I've been really excited about this. And this is, I'm assuming by the hair, Merida's, right? Yeah, with the bow, it's got to be. So this is Merida's story. See how much I know about it? I don't care. I just wanted it. And this is... So Scotland, Merida's story. Yep. What if the witch gave Merida a different spell? Ooh. So I love these kind of what if stories and these reimagining of these tales that we're familiar with. It's like a comfort read, right? So I'm excited for this one. I mean, I'm excited for all of them, so I'm not sure I'm just going to say I'm excited over and over again. All right, the next place was the Book Attic. This one's in Tomball. They have a lot of used books, so it was fun to go peruse those. I got The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. By Kate Quinn. I've seen this one over and over again. It's a World War II historical fiction. You know, my favorite genre is fantasy, historical fiction, and I've seen this on a lot of people's shelves. I haven't heard a lot about it, though, so we shall see if it is for me. And the other one I got was Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. This one is a classic, like from the 90s, I think. I lied, 2012. I guess it's not a classic. But this is a story I've heard a lot about and it's from 2012. It's a spec fic. So we shall hit that one too. That one's been on a lot of people's best of lists. And the last one we hit was Good Books in the Woods. Good Books in the Woods, because it's the Woodlands, is where this bookstore is. The Woodlands is what the town is called if you're not from here. And Good Books in the Woods is one of my favorite stores. It is so cool. It also is a used bookstore. Pretty sure they only have used books. And it's one of those places like that bookstore from Neverending Story where you have all those dusty tomes and you get to go through them and find like hidden treasures. Yeah, that's Good Books in the Woods. And I love it. And there I found They're There by Tommy Orange. I've not read any by Tommy Orange, and I need more Native American authors. So I'd love to add this to my list. So I have this as something to read. And I bought The Sun and the Void by Gabriela Romero Lacruz. And I bought this one. First of all, it's beautiful. But I also bought it because she is going to be at Comicpalooza. So I'm like, well, I mean, how can I say no to that? So Comicpalooza, signed up, ready to go. Which means I really need to hurry up and read it. And then that was all one day. And then we were like, well, we're not done. We need to hit all the ones in the center in town that we missed, right? So let's see. These are not in order. So I'm just going to do the best I can to let you know. I put little Post-its on them so I could remember where each one was from. So I'm trying, but my memory's going. So the first place we went was Class. Class Bookstore is on a college campus, and it specializes in nonfiction books. They did this year have a small section of fiction, so that was kind of cool. But I went ahead and stuck with their original intent, and I got 400 Souls. This is a short story collection with let's see, it's a unique one-volume community history of African Americans from 1619 to 2019, told by multiple authors. And it's just fascinating to me. And look at that cover. So I'm very excited about this book as well. Look, I'm excited about all of them. You know, I'm a writer. You would think I would come up with more words, but no, excited just really fits. And of course, we had to hit Kindred because I love Kindred Stories. We hit Kindred Stories, been there multiple times. We'll go there again. They're moving to a bigger location, which is so exciting. Actually, it's May now. That might be open. I'm going to have to go again. I'm going to have to earn it, though, because, you know, that doesn't count when I buy. And I ended up getting Nigeria Jones by Ibi Zoboi. And this is a warrior princess. That's what Nigeria Jones's father calls her. Let's see. As Nigeria searches for her mother, she starts to uncover a shocking truth, one that will lead her to question everything she thought she knew about her life and her family. So this is a search, looks like a coming of age story, which has always been my favorite kind. And fun. Look, it's like a mosaic. Look, covers will get me, man. You can sell me with a good cover. Doesn't take that much. Of course, we hit Brazos Bookstore. Brazos is always the 2-for-1, right? Because we have Brazos Bookstore, and right across the street, we have Murder by the Book. So we went to both. This is what I got from Brazos. Enchanted creatures are monsters and their meanings. Look at that. So all the writing I do in dev editing and all that kind of stuff, this was very enticing to me. And from Murder by the Book, right across the street, I got Ramona Afton Can So Solve a Murder by Bellamy Rose. So it's a nice, just little one. It looks fun, except it is about rich people. And so I have been a little impatient with rich people stories lately, but this one looks really cute and cross my fingers that it's going to work for me. We went to a new store I had not been to before. It's called Good on Paper Books and Stationery. And that was a cute store and nice and clean and pretty and made me happy. And I bought We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. This is a sapphic horror novel. And I need this for a reading, for a project that I'm doing. So I was like, perfect, I shall get this now. Don't feel guilty about that buy at all. And then while we were there, not an indie bookstore, but right across the street, there was a thrift store, and we thought we would check it out while we were there. We had time. We got ice cream, too. Like, it was a really cute part of the Heights where we were at. And it was just adorable. And we got ice cream, and then we went to the thrift store. At the thrift store, I found 2 books. One is Redwood Court by Delana R.A. Demaron. I don't know what this is about. I have no idea. It says, a triumph of a debut, Redwood Court is storytelling at its best. That doesn't help. Complicated, nuanced people. South Carolina, I like that. I mean, that is where I was born, so I like reading stories from there. A beautiful exploration of a family putting down roots despite the world being against them and choosing to love one another, the broken parts and the whole, with every breath in their lungs and every beat of their enormous, powerful hearts. I found this family story deeply moving. Well, there you go. But quite frankly, I bought it because of the cover. And it was like 50 cents. Like, this thrift store was definitely keeping the prices down. And I also bought The Bone Shard Emperor by Andrea Stewart because I have book 1 and book 2, $1. I was like, I can't say no to that. I mean, look at this book. How can I say no? And I know I'm going to love book 1. I just know it. I mean, it has everything I love for fantasy. Of course I'm going to love it. All right, these other books I can't reach. Hold on. Oh, I know. There's another stack. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, we went to another new bookstore I'd not been to before. It's in Ironworks, this kind of place that has like a lot of little stores all put together. This was Mossrose Bookshop. They only have romance novels. They were really small, so I have to admit it was a little hard to find something that I wanted to read, either that I haven't read yet or looked appealing to me. And one of my friends who was with me recommended this one, and it's Truly, Madly, Deeply by Alexandria Bellafleur. And this is a contemporary romance. I think she's like a science writer who starts a new podcast, and he is the partner that was like assigned to her. And so it looks really cool. It just looks fun. And plus it's purple and blue, which makes me happy. Sometimes the colors are enough, but I have hopes. Never heard of the author or the book. That's always fun. Also downtown, we hit Basket Books and Art. That one had it's very, very artistic, that place. And so I searched through looking. I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is they had a lot of poetry and and I am not much of a poetry reader. It's not exactly my style. So I looked through to see what I could find. And I did find The Wrong End of the Telescope by Rabi Alameddine. And I'll read because the back, it's just one paragraph, and this is why I want to read this. This sounds like a fascinating story. It's Mina Simpson, a transgender Lebanese doctor, travels to volunteer at the infamous refugee camp of Moria on Lesbos, Greece, the closest she's been to her homeland for decades. When a boat crosses bringing a terminally ill Syrian matriarch and her family, Mina prepares a course of treatment with the new resources on hand. Confronting the circumstances of the migrants' displacement and her own constraints in helping them. Cunningly weaving in stories of other refugees into Mina's singular own, The Wrong End of the Telescope is a bedazzling tapestry of indomitable spirits facing a humanitarian crisis. So fascinating. So much in this book to read. So much outside of my life experience, which is part of the reason why I read. So I'm very excited about this one, which is also why you should always look at things. Even if you think it's not up your alley, go explore. You never know what you're going to find. And then Kaboom Books, which is also quickly becoming a favorite bookstore of mine. That place is chaos in the best sort of way. And I find books I'd never heard of. I think 3 of these I'd never heard of, and one of them I've been dying to read. And the first one I got was Waking Lions by Ayelet Gundar Goshen. So this is like a thriller story, and it's based in Israel. So I think there's a car accident and the circumstances that come upon that. I don't remember if it's translated. Yeah, it is. So this one is translated as well. So I do like to get more translated books. So that will be fun. This Place is Still Beautiful by Gigi Tian. It's best I can do. I'm sure I've chopped it up. But this is a YA book, and it is sapphic, and that's about all I know. Oh, and contemporary. It's about all I know, but it looks fascinating. And again, how can you say no to that cover? If you could say no to that cover, you're stronger than I am, just for the record. Much, much stronger. Not that that's saying much. And this is a fresh and searing account of racism, class privilege, and exploitation. Let's see. And this takes place For 15 years, August Stitwell has worked for the Barclays, a well-to-do white family in a Midwestern city, who plucked him from an orphan asylum and offered him a job. What year is this? It doesn't say the year, I can't remember, but it is historical fiction, so I do adore historical fiction. It says the author of The Talented Ribkins. Very cool. So this will be another experience outside my own, which is why I love them. Please. This is how you learn empathy, by the way. Read some stuff outside your own comfort zone, outside your own experience. And then Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This one is it's look, you can see Henry VIII right there. This is takes place in Tudor England. And I'm pretty sure it's a 3-book series, but holy moly is this baby dense. Look at that. I've been afraid to buy it because it is so dense. But, I mean, it was just a few dollars, and it's been highly recommended. I do love historical fiction. Have been fascinated with the Tudors for decades. So, that one. And then the last stop was my very, very most favorite indie bookstore of all time. The one I'm at least once a month. And that is Copperfield's Books. That is right here in Spring, Texas. And I bought The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. Yeah, I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. And I also bought Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. And I bought this because Dusty Book Sniffers, Nicole, she loves this book. And I have great respect for the things that she enjoys. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So that's it. I mean, I've done way worse, and I supported 17 bookstores. I think that's pretty impressive, right? 17? But yeah, we had a great old time. I cannot wait till next April. This will always be an exception to any book buying ban that I have. I think it is important to support small businesses, period. But because this is my life, reading and writing and editing and publishing, it's of primary importance to me that I support indie bookstores. So not only do I love them personally, it's also good for business. So consider it, y'all. Check out your local indie bookstore. I'm so excited. Now I gotta find room on my shelf somewhere. Well, let me know if you had read any of these books, if any of these should go to the top. I'll say this one is already on my TBR because of Comic Palooza. So otherwise, I don't have any plans. Oh, and We Used to Live Here. I have plans for that one too. Otherwise, all the rest of them, I don't have plans for them. So if y'all have any ideas or any cool things that I need to pull up and read first, let me know. I'd love to hear. Meanwhile, please make sure to subscribe and like this and let me know what video you'd like to see next. And I'll see you next time.